Oh, fucking camera rotations. Using model path.
Hi there. Sorry to interrupt. Interruptions can be quite annoying, like a stuffy nose, getting in the way of your day. Wow! Afrin No Drip is here to provide ridiculously powerful nasal congestion relief fast for up to 12 hours.
I guess I should.
And it stays right where you spray it, with no drips all.
I want people to watch all
Freeze!
that.
I'm Ma Baker. Put your hands in the air and give me all your money.
This is the story of Ma Baker, Venus cat from old Chicago town.
Chicken's a relative fat and first tax. No. camera, X not moving. It doesn't move. Also create a batch file for those who prefer to use that. It's so sweet. I wish I was good enough to be working on open source stuff. Who's that? Not like 100% like working in the sense that like this is supposed to be searching the SQL database from Buzzworks, and it does have some queries that like it pops up and like it fills it all out with all its stuff automatically, and then I have like all the models right here that I can select, and then I'm just gonna give up on the textures, I think, and find like a oh, you know what I can do? I can just turn it on over here. How's that? Delete my old wave configuration. Kill all these terminals. Music is low but fine. Your favorite booby streamer? A man? Oh, I gotta start another terminal. can't even remember what it, oh, it wasn't spawning the objects properly. And that one looks like a bantam. I mean, dude, I'm actually getting kind of excited about this because I feel like I'm making like an Eve fucking animation tool. I mean, I am, but it's just, yeah, this didn't make any database changes or anything. But then I can't always just do something like this, like Astero, Shamal, Astero, my favorite ship. Not really, but then we make sure everything looks good on the position grid. Export. Still getting cubes. Could be it's like spawning them on top of other models, but got Astero showing up. X180 on the name text. Let's see, X180 name text. Oh, we got Gitch over there already? I'm gonna get on Eve in a minute, I promise. Okay, yeah, it's still doing a placeholder cube. I fixed this before, but it's... It's gotta have like a fallback cube. It does the positioning perfect, and I like that. And the animation is actually like not, it's not working right now because I deleted something, I think, but yeah, it goes up. Okay, the idea is that everything's just going to be like in series, like stacked up, and it'll just move up, and I can tweak in that like really easy. I just want to eliminate all the effort on my end. I think I just need to look at this JSON file, and this is like a little config file that it is generating from the web app. So the model help to hard code the full directory in our JSON file so it's easier for Blender to Blender project is in a different directory and this code base because I'm dumb. Just in time to watch It's Cool suffer to fuel our addiction. I mean, bro, I did suffer. I'm like, anyways, it's hard to like, it's hard to make something that I feel like, you know, I could probably go work for some company doing something like this, man, damn. But I get really excited about this in particular, because I've made content for RuneScape and Eve, and I think both of those have like a really healthy base and tons and tons and tons of info. So this idea of being able to make an engine that can take like a wiki article and turn it into a video guide, I'm like, there's a million different wikis out there. I need to set myself a hard time limit though, because I like blink my eyes and 4 hours goes by. Boo, 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 boo. I do really find it neat watching the cross chatter between different streams. Oh, let me actually. Sorry. I liked it a lot better with the little glass window there. I just accidentally deleted it from my. Like a silly boy. Bum bum bee bum. Mm 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 mm. There you go. I like that a little bit better. Out of memory. Oh. Where did we crash at? Hard-coded full paths in JSON export, updated documentation, updated path handling, modify the wave animator script to use the paths directly from the JSON file. Okay, so am I? Let's just kill everything and. Alright, let me double check and make sure delete my config. Phantom, yeah. Add your model. We'll add a pithy irrigator who uses the same model. Just for shits and giggles, let's add like something big. A rattlesnake. And I don't think maybe it will have a rattlesnake model in here. Rattlesnake Victory Edition. Or what's the other one called? Is it's not the Widow, but the Scorpion. Do they have a Scorpion Navy? variant. And we have our grid. Export the config. Alright. I need to mix it up on the music. It's drifting off a little too hard here. Time for a new computer. 100%. I agree. Oh, come on. Mm-mm-mm. Rid of placeholder cube, please, and add some logging to our wave spawning script. Model import. Dude, here's the thing, Zadius. I think if I could sit down with someone who is an actual developer and kick back and forth, they would be able to say, that is dumb, do this instead, or whatever. Or even me just be able to show them. Because what I saw at the last company I worked for is like my my boss, who was like a software engineer, he would tell me something was impossible, like, no, we can't have that, whatever. And I would go I went and reverse engineered our CRM by downloading the front end code, feeding it in the ChatGPT, like finding little like windows where I could do SQL queries, and I downloaded Postman, and I started capturing all of the API calls I was making, and realized the whole system is based off of API calls. And I reverse engineered their like API and then built my own features, and I did that in like 2 days, doing what I'm doing here, just going down like ChatGPT-esque rabbit holes. And then I went back to them and I was like, well, hey, I built a button that automatically schedules a meeting, books on Google Calendar, sends out the invite, sends an email template, does this, does that, kicks off this automated sequence. And they're like, I could see them a little like, oh shit. And my boss was like, junior developer is a dead position. But then at the same time, like, it's like they didn't, the way they use ChatGPT is way different than the way I would use it. They would like be like, fix this bug, do this code, and it would like fail. And I don't think like for me, the benefit to this isn't necessarily its ability to write code well. It's like its ability to understand syntax and put my pseudocode into like reality extremely quickly. Like I could sit down and I could write down the pseudocode, the idea I have in my mind, and then go sit down and spend hours figuring out how to write that perfectly syntaxically. And I will do that eventually. But this is like, I'm learning so many concepts, and I'm genuinely understanding concepts that are a lot deeper than I would be able to understand previously, to a point where now when I do go back to try to understand like JavaScript and watch like a JavaScript tutorial video or start reading JavaScript book, I feel like I understand what I'm reading so much more. It's not like I'm Alright. If you go to the doctor and say you have an ear infection, he gives you pills. But if it's really an ant in your ear, it didn't get fixed. It is better to just tell the doctor your ear hurts. I always approach ChatGPT in this way. Yeah, exactly. It's like inaccurate information will be, it's like the accuracy of your request is extremely important. And that's why a lot of the time I use it, like, I'll find myself getting lazy and not want to type out this long description. It's easier for me to just like rant it off the top of my head as fast as I can into like a voice to text note and then just paste that whole thing in. Instead of creating placeholder queues, a mall import now creates empties. Cool, extensive logging, that's what I wanted. Enhance scene set to properly clear all existing objects, add logging for each step, create log capturing, enhance main function. Alright, sweet. But is it only logging if I run the little fucking batch script it made? No, it produced empties. Yeah, and for me with Blender, dude, I am like, I used to fuck around with Blender a lot, for a lot of random shit. And it's one of those things that changes so much. It's my biggest fear with Blender and my biggest problem with it is that it's one of those things where I want to like stay consistent on it and keep the reps in, but I don't have any like real way to justify ever doing it. So getting to like, yeah, where would the logging be? But it's like a real coalescence of like some of my different interests. Like I like making videos. I like automation. I like scaling things out. Like it, a big part of the reason why I don't play RuneScape is because of the sophistication of bots, right? And like I thought about like making like a RuneScape bot, but I don't want to do anything that's like bad juju in the gaming community. Oh, it did not like that. Yeah, and I deleted them because they were kind of corny. I could probably find them if I searched like conversations with people like Zadius, because I will like spam some of this shit out to people. And I'm actually really glad that I do, because I tend to like delete them a lot. Because it's not really like, okay, here you go. Can I Coffee message link. That might be an easier way to look at that. I remember when I first started, like, I went down a rabbit hole for like a couple days learning like Blender animations. Oh, here it's. I was thinking like, what if you made like a Foxhole meets Nazi zombies sort of game? So I was making like cute little, you know, animated soldiers. I messed around with a little bit, like I've done a little bit of like by hand modeling like that. A little bit of like texture painting stuff. A little bit of like a physics simulation stuff. Like I would spam people with these like bouncing ball things. When I, you know, it's like I let my computer run all fucking night, like to generate something like this, and then it would be glitchy, and I need a supercomputer, brother. You know, you have those like maker YouTubers who are making all their robotics and get a resin 3D printer and design it in AutoCAD or Blender to perfectly fit your little circuit that you've designed, and just 3D printed some circuit board that's gonna went and bought some random microcontroller to control some baby servo to go off. Dude, I love that. Just, if I had unlimited money, I would just sit in the basement, soldering away. Mission denied, wave animator log. It doesn't like. I don't think Blender has write access to the folder. Save the log to. Can you just have it so that the wave animator logging displays in Blender console only? I think when you're trying to fix this problem, you're saying your ear's infected, which is why it's so close to working. I could be wrong, just my feeling. I also checked, yeah, a lot of debugging to the code, which doesn't cost. Yeah, it's actually, you're not wrong. I'd say, if anything, Zadius, I think what's happening more is I'm just being lazy right now, because when I'm like, right now when I'm talking to people and having fun, I'm definitely a little bit more on autopilot, but what I've seen be the most successful, and that's why I'm just having to do print commands in console right now, is it's not necessarily that it's going to do a huge amount of work for me, because it's going to, there's going to be some of these things that are going to be way beyond my scope of understanding with something like this. But I guess my point is more that, yeah, when you're working with ChatGPT or you're coding with like the AI, printing to the console and being able to provide it back is, especially if you're a noob, going to give you like the best results. Yeah, so, but type mesh. Okay, wait a second. I just need to like remember Blender a little bit, man, because I'm definitely just asking it the wrong way. Because there's I know I can just come in here. Let's see, wave 1, Bantam. This is the empty right here, yeah, it's the parent empty object. Here, I'll just do this. How to assign obj to empty Blender. There's like a little interface on the right hand side. Exactly. Yeah, you're 100% on the money, Zadius. I'm trying to describe the problem, and I'm describing the wrong problem. So it's solving the wrong problem. If I knew the exact way to describe it, it would be nailing it 100%. I did this last night when I was like, oh, you know what? Here. That's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna like wipe its context. We have the wave animator script in here. Let me just confirm this is still the case. Yeah, alright. Oh yeah, dude, there's so much I think I could do to improve and get better at like working with. I think if you took 5 people that were interested in learning of varying skill sets but had this sort of like open mind to this idea. I have this concept of like fractal learning instead. And I'm not saying not to grow your core knowledge, because core knowledge is just mastery that is achieved over time. Mastery is achieved over time, but you can lightning bolt yourself to competency by like only learning exactly what's required to get to like the advanced tactic. Never would 2 worlds meet like this. Very much interested in the Blender stuff and what Python parent console for those logs, script executes, and has conditional statements. For example, you want a console log. That tells you which conditional statement got executed. So one thing about the console logging in here is that the Claude has been telling me that I should be running, I need to like hook up Blender to Path and, you know, get used to working with command line interface with Blender, because it'll save a much more robust log file. Put a little thought into what you're doing, emphasis on low. You might have better luck with Node, scraping, plus Blender modeling, plus 3GS, creation and animation workflow. Okay, yeah. Well, I do use Node for the scraping. At the end of the day, the scraping is cool, but I had a bit of an epiphany. Like, there's only so much structure to like say an EVE Online combat site. So like EVE Online, let's say Angel Extravaganza, right? I need to look at 3JS. But if we look at like Angel Extravaganza as an example, everything in EVE is like a room with, you know, it's like I'm even like a section like this, even like a break section, I can call this a room with no ships and just put special notes in the text field. So this wave builder that I had it write up for me, I can add another wave, I can put notes in here. This is text that will display. And then what happens is these waves, they stack up on top of one another like this in Blender based on, so I have like 1, 2, 3. Those guys are side by side, but then wave 2, whatever's in wave 2 will be stacked on top of wave 1 on the Z axis, so that like whenever I'm animating it, it's just, I just have to like pull that group of things down into the frame and say like, you know, initial defenders, 2 angel webifiers, 3 Gistes Tribunier Perfectuses, and 3 Gist commanders, and it will show those 3 models rotate, and then that slides down. You know, wave 1, and then it would show these 2 models with their stats, and you know, we talk about it for a second, and then it slides down. At least that's my vision. Obviously open to better ideas. And Blender and Python, mostly a JavaScript guy. Well, and I feel that too, because like I won't claim to know anything. I'm very novice, but I'm much more comfortable with JavaScript than Python. I'm just letting Jesus take the wheel right now. All right, Wave Animator PY uses hard-coded absolute path to OBJ models, has a fallback parameter. Spawn ship uses a more sophisticated ship resource manager class to manage models. Supports both local and remote models through ship model overrides dictionary. That's right, ship model override. Has a mapping system for ship name to model files. Can determine appropriate models based on factor. Yeah. All right. That's what it is. Well, spawn ship works. Currently, I think Wave Animator is missing OBJ and model mapping to ship name, etc. Please integrate those features. So Wave animates over. Bro, go get some Italian food. You need it. What do you mean? What do I need Italian food for? JavaScript is just a core function of Blender and Python. Well, I'm a noob, and I love to have people more knowledgeable than I am around me. And I think what's really cool about this kind of stuff is I've seen people get really excited. I saw my last boss get really excited whenever I took, because I everything I had to build in that CRM, I was building by reverse engineering their API. I made a little HTML ChatGPT sort of window that was sending API calls to OpenAI. But would first send a bunch of API calls to the lead page that I was on to like siphon up all the notes and the emails and everything and put it into the context to the prompt so that like I could prompt it and say write an email for this person, but it was like a really crude way of doing it. And my boss saw that and he's like, oh yeah, we're rigging that to the database like now and making that a feature. And I'm like, yeah dude, I've been trying to tell you that you can literally do these things in like a prompt. This JavaScript is driving a React web app that is essentially a GUI to construct the JSON file for our Python script that creates the waves and the animations in Blender. I believe I got that right. I believe I understand how this is working, at least on a conceptual level. Linter error. I might have like grown this thing to a. I mean, it is a real mess now of a project. We've got so much just hobbled shit in here and different pivots on approach. Alright, it's using the ship override. Ship resource manager class. Okay. Debug mode is enabled. What the fuck? Alright. Modify the fallback to use resource manager, update, create waves from config function, use model mapping system. Now automatically select appropriate models based on ship names, even though model is specified in configuration. Alright, let me look at this config file. Is it these double slashes? Is it like a JSON constraint? Posting documentation. Here you go. You gotta read me. Not bad. It always makes a readme too without me even asking for it now. It's like you know, I wouldn't consider myself proud enough to open source anything just yet. I see you've provided, let me analyze. Each ship has explicit. Just maximum laziness right now. Get a work sponsorship UI. One is more front end, one is more back end. And I can really say this too, even as a noob, like everything that I look into in terms of like the really cool shit, you know, if I want to do something powerful or processing intensive, it's like always Python. Especially when you're working with Blender and AI, they're both so Python centric. I feel like it would be. I generally have. I'm not even running like the most up to date version of Blender right now, so that could make a big difference. But in my experience, like I barely ever do anything with Python, but every time I have one of the AI large LLMs print Python code, it seems to just work one shot at a much higher frequency than any other language. Let me see what I'm gonna load up Eve. How is Discord using so much? Just trying to like index my DMs with Zadius, and it's taking forever. Now using the same import method with BlenderPy.ops. Okay, yeah, that's probably it right there. There's a different Blender import method for the actual object. I'm willing to bet. All right, let's see. Boom, I see ships. That's a Scorpion. It's just too big compared to everything else. The ship sizes are accurate. I was thinking of doing like one of those updated, like an updated version of the like ship scale video. It looks like, yeah, so the wave origin mechanic works. Like when I scale them down, you can tell that like it did place them where I placed them on the grid. That's fucking awesome. I need to like scale everything down relative to their size. I had to do that last time. The animation is, yeah, rotated the wrong direction, but it's doing what I want. That'll be something easy enough to tweak. I mean, honestly, I could even just not have it animated, and I could animate it by hand in probably 5 minutes per video. But I wanna do the whole thing automated. And then I was fucking around with like this thing. Where's my... Man, I had some that I used before. Materials. Yeah. Hologram. Yeah, these are not bad. So, check this shit out. trying to find like a good holographic texture to use for them too, because right now the texture files are not something that I reasonably get, and this one looked pretty good. This one looked pretty like Eve to me. Alright. And then the text comes in next to them, make it like nice and sci-fi and be like beep 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 beep, you know, like stats. Beep 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 kind of thing. Or just have them like, yeah. I think I'm just gonna have it not animate it and just place everything in grid and do like, maybe the only animation I'll have it do is have it do some sort of like subtle, slow rotation on the vertical axis like this. Yo, this shit's coming together. I think the biggest thing for me, Zadius, would be like learning learning the fundamentals in general. All right, what's the size of one of these squares right now? A meter? I think that's like the default. Is there a ruler? Yeah, 1 meter. Okay, let's do this. Rerun it. We gotta measure our rattlesnake. $126 meters. I wonder if this is fucking accurate, dude. That would be cool. Okay. So that's way too gigantic. If I do 0.1 scale on the Scorpion and then 0.1 on these, are these going to be too small for the viewing window? I don't want things to be too accurate to scale. I wonder if there's a way for me to ask it to like try to keep something inside of like 2 meters cubed. You get what I'm saying? Like not scale it down to 0.1, but to bring everything to like a relative size of. Python, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Java. Yeah, I mean, that's why for me, I know it's kind of dumb, right? To have made, this was literally 2 prompts. I did 1 prompt to make it, and then I had the idea for the position grid, and that was 2 prompts. It took a minute of my time. And now I have this full GUI configuration tool that I can use for the waves. So But building something like this for this task without AI would be dumb. Yeah, that's where I'm at, Gitch. I'm same boat, brother. I'm looking to leverage the combination of these things, right? That's what this project is for. So the point, that's like, well, what's the point? The point of me doing a workflow for the combat sites is because I was thinking about what is evergreen Eve content that I'm always going to Google, even if I've done it a million times. I still, the amount of times I've typed Shadow Serpentis Hideaway into Google as one individual. I think it was AI really like coming out and like me being able to do a prompt and make something that was neat, and then like so it's like I can actually work on a project to learn instead of just like sitting in that tutorial hell. Okay, calculate object dimensions. Scales an object to fit within a target volume. Okay, I mean, if it can do that. See, like, I have an idea in my head. I know what I want. I'm like, these ships are all too big, but I don't want them to be accurate to scale, because then a ship with a wave with a battleship in it's going to look retarded. So we'll see if it did what I asked it to and kept them all, like, cohesively sized. Boom. Boom. Look at that. Fucking nailed it. It nailed it. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna make a couple adjustments. I'm gonna remove the animation and just have it be static, spawn the models in for me with like all their information, and like actually tweak it to be proper. So all of these need to be rotated. What? Negative 90x? Negative 90x on the ship rotation. Their spacing and orientation on this like sideways plane is just mostly, I think, from doing it stupid in the web app. The animation still moves the camera, which is funny. So the wave has each container, Bantam info, attributes, yada yada yada. Okay, so those are there, but are they just like spawned inside of the ship? Bantam description. I don't see anything. Yeah, it's not rendering the text. It's got placeholders in place though. Alright, so text needs to face which axis? It needs to be facing. I need to be able to read text from the y-axis, negative y-axis. Negative y, right? Yeah, okay. 2 weeks and I'll be a sorcerer. You're funny, man. JavaScript is cancer because of the unforgiving syntax it has, but if you master the syntax, it translates to almost all languages. I started machine learning in high school. It sucks, but the move to C was life-changing. Then QBasic came out as 100% hooked. Did you download Cursor yet, Zadius? You have to go pick up your son early? Okay. I was about to ask. Well, then I'll, oh man, I crashed again. I'll jam out on Cursor for a while. Then if, I might hop on Eve soon, but I was gonna say, let me know if you get on and you wanted to run missions so I can not get sucked down a rabbit hole. It was funny because I just looked at the clock. After I had the thought, I told myself, I need to set a timer for myself on the project here. I get sucked in, and that was an hour ago. Okay. I wonder if I can just do an OBS here. Are we encoding with my graphics card? I hope so. I wonder if Eve has one of those old they used to have they had high production value old tutorials back in the day. It's not what I wanted. I wanted to go to, I know they have a channel, right? Yeah. Ooh, okay, that's a good point right there. I need to make note of that for a creative note.
While the Stargate pairs remain closed to pairing with not to contain any.
I like the whole scope style. That's nostalgic. looks fucking kind of dope. They had like, oh, here we go, player tutorials.
Hey folks, Quilly here and welcome to an EVE Online tutorial.
Holy shit, almost 1 million views. No, I'm talking, they used to have these like, maybe they were ads.
When I first started EVE, I was a minor.
Now I'm a ganker. Oh, I remember that one. I can't even listen to it.
Tired of getting blown up by people all the time. So I decided, instead of being the hunted, I would become the hunter.
Oh god. I can't do that. Sci-fi locking effect. I'm trying to like give like an idea of what it is. Whatever. Look at it in a second. I want to see if this updated my text display properly. Let's see. Wave 1. Rattlesnake. Rattlesnake label. I think we broke cursor. What is this? These vertex groups. Hull, glass, exhaust. It's like for shading. I mean, that doesn't look bad. Some of them are going to be a little too intense. Ooh, nice and simple. Hey? Well, that one's not very pretty. That one's got like a wireframe to it, too. I can get like lost in style and color shit, so I'm not going to do that. Let's see. I love how many of these where it made it and it was like working script fixed. Final working script. I've got 10 final scripts. This working script doesn't work. I think working off of the ship spawn is probably my best bet. That should still give us our text even if it's small. Yeah. admin bot is online. What the fuck? Mm, 794956. You're so funny. Stupid talk to text ruined your minor joke. You did refer sometimes to the ship instead of the ship information panel. Yeah. You're right. That's true. Start cleaning up our desk here. Welcome, computer. Oh, there's so many. All right. Okay. You know, it's funny too, because like you're like 100% right about the way I've been describing it, and oh, I misspelled label. I'm sure it'll figure it out. Why? I see the issue now. You cannot spell. Hey, what's up, Robert? Right now, I am, I wanted to start making YouTube videos for the different combat sites in the game. I frequently find myself, Googling the same combat sites. So this tool that I'm working on will like generate the model of a ship or a rat in Blender, and it'll pull like their statistics, their descriptions, all the stuff that like Eve has in the data export. And the idea is I'm going to have them like kind of like rotating around the ship in like this sort of like sci-fi looking way. And then I'll put like a holographic texture on the ship or whatever. But I'm trying to make a tool that will like spawn, it'll basically create this animation from a template, so I can just like load in like a combat site from a template. Now I'm waiting on Eve, but I mean I'm working on Eve video. Hopefully this works. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's good content to make, is content that people are going to be frequently Googling. And even when I was like streaming a couple of days ago, I said like, I'm going to look up these sites, and I didn't look up a site, and it was a ghost site, and I forgot all about ghost sites, and I got killed. So it is a good exercise. Okay. Let's see, wave 1, rattlesnake. It's still not creating my... I don't feel like it actually made a change. I see ship PyScript is creating a proper hierarchy of text objects. Ship info display function to create more detailed hierarchy of text objects. Did you make this change? Oh, there we go. Yeah, that makes it quite long. Let's see, wave, rattlesnake. Still not seeing anything other than the label. Oh, okay. Create attributes display if provided. Okay, yeah. Remember, we are not providing these values always. We are pulling them from the database. Yeah, RuneScape and Eve were both games where it's like, or like Space Engineers, you know, there's a lot of games where you, like when you start, it's like you got to get used to, you got to have your second monitor up and be Googling. And I am thinking like, here, I'll pull open the like one that works while the AI is thinking, and like what I'm thinking here, it's like this would be smaller. We'd have like a holographic texture on it, right? It will. There we go. And then say we add like a let's make this guy black. Then gotta get rid of all the wave one stuff. So rattlesnake, that guy, get rid of that guy. Oh, all their text started popping up after I started deleting them. Ah, so it was there, just hidden. But anyways, just it's like a mock-up of the concept here. So it would be like, all this would be much smaller, and oop, that grabbed the plane in the background too. All this like text, I'm thinking, I'll make this much smaller, and you see how it's all like got these black lines drawn to the frigate here. The frigate is, this object is the parent of this text here, so it's got a relationship. So I can have it kind of like float around it or stay where it's at. But I'm gonna have the ship kind of like slowly rotating, I think. And then this text, of course, will be like glowy, better formatted. Maybe I'll put like a little background on it and draw like a line to it, like a targeting lock mechanism or something. That's what I want, at least. Maybe I'm thinking too far ahead. But if I can make that, and then this tool that I've made that generates all the models and puts them in order where I want them, after all this like spawns where I want, I don't have to sit here and rearrange it over and over and over again. I can do it for every ship in the game. I can do it for every combat site. So it's like scalable. So that's kind of the idea of this right now. Is I want to make more YouTube videos, but I want to make a lot of them. I want to make them high quality. And I like animation. I think having some consistent animations like that would be a good way to make things have like a nice quality consistency to them without granted this I think the script is growing beyond the context of what the AI is going to realistically be able to handle. I don't want to say that, it's dumb. Australian or British woman, the voice of videos. I mean, again, That would be like ideal vision. I can't, part of me, like, the reason why I figured, like, you know, I'll just, like, stream this while I'm working on it is because I'm gonna be working soon, and I know realistically, like, side project-y things, this shit takes a lot of time. I can go pretty deep down the rabbit hole. Right now, the individual ship spawning already works fine, and I could load in 10 models pretty quickly and make a little video. But the idea of having like the animation generator kind of hard to repay in Plex. Well, I actually looked at Zadius. I went on the voice actor like Reddit, and they have rules against like you can't post work for like non-dollars and oops, old school cell dweller. What's not for you? Yeah, yeah, fuck that. Sure. I trust you, Claude. I mean, good God. I can't even imagine, like, just typing these many words. Oh, man. Obviously, I'm memeing. I'll type like a maniac, but it is wild the amount of labor this thing cranks out. Now I'm sure the guys that do this kind of shit for a living, making like templated animations and stuff, they probably have an entirely different workflow that I would be like, oh wow, I'm doing things really dumb here. Alrighty, let's see. Wave animator, go. No errors. Still only showing the label here. I wonder if the same thing will happen where if I delete it, the text shows up. Yeah. And the Pithy Irrigator has info because that one comes from the database. And if I delete the object, all of this text comes up. Oh, okay. That'll probably. Did you see last night? Frat had their ACLs screwed up, and anyone could go to their space. I don't know how that works. ACL? But is the text hidden and obscured? Or is... No, this... It's like empty, it doesn't even get displayed. The list of who can dock where. Oh. So just like it just wide opened it? Anyone could dock? Oh, that's wild. Made several changes. Set text object show in front true. Repositioned, increase text size. I don't think that's it, buddy. This wave animator script is at 1288 lines. There it is. It's there. It's just too small. Okay. Easy solution. Scale text 20. And we need to rotate all of the ships. Negative 90 degrees. Oh, but then that fucking rotates the text. Ugh. Okay. Because they have a relationship. Okay. No, not 20%, 20x. I need to stop being lazy. Start deleting some of this old stuff. God. It just let itself grow to like such a point too, and I can feel it like bogging down. I want to trim out the like main functionality out of this project and then start building off of that. And ideally split this wave animator into like get rid of all these debugging. Increase the text scale by 20x and adjust the ship rotation and text orientation. Increase size, looks good, size. Rotation is what I'm curious about. Rotate container to face. Okay, so it's actually rotating the container. Okay, well. No animation, that's good. The text is all borked up. I'm gonna get in there and I think manually tweak that. But just to, this one shouldn't have any of that text because I didn't pull it from the database, and these should. And they do. So, the last thing for me to test is terminal open. Get the server running. And get the web app running. I'd have to like expand the functionality of this like database search, but with the aggregator, it's pulling its attributes. still gonna be the same. So I'm just gonna. I wish there was a copy button. I'll have to put that there. I guess it doesn't really matter. I forgot to set the models for these guys. That's the biggest thing, is just, I was thinking like, you know, at least if I can like manually just come in and set the model, because I can always figure out that logic later. And then this could just be like a tool to like let people, you know, other people could conceivably find a use for this, I suppose. An Archon, yeah, okay, with some big ships. 3 waves. And then we look at the position grid. Only the first wave has multiple ships. So that should represent. And now that the ships are restricted to like a cube volume, like this should work great. And they should automatically stack on top of one another. I shouldn't have to like, you know, put them up or anything. I really like this site too, it looks pretty. Okay. I delete my last config file that I had. Export this and see if it makes my 3 waves stack on top of one another. Looks like it did. Obviously I've got some adjustments to do on the text here, but that's wave 1. With our random selections. Oh, it did it the other way. Yeah, no wave. Is that what I said? Augur? I can come back and look. Augur, an Archon, Shuttle, Badger, Celestis. Yeah, okay. And then I should have the Archon at the bottom. Keep going. Keep going. Oh, where is he? Oh, it's getting there. Oh, baby Archon. Okay. So you get the text right, and I fixed the like SQL database so that it pulls details for all ships. And then now we've got like a predictable set of these like waves where I can grab this wave and, you know, I can create an animation where I have the text and everything oriented, and these ships are like spinning, you know, the way I want them to, and then the wave will just move down out of camera, and the next wave sitting on top will just come down into camera. And then, just for shits and giggles, I do kind of want to like see which material I'm going to end up. I think this is the one I like the best so far. Looks the most Eve. Right on, Zap. Thanks for chilling out in here, man. Nice to have some feel like I'm not ranting to myself entirely. We even got some of these old ass models. I like this holograph though. I was just trying to find a solution that didn't require you to like rip the texture out of the game files, and I think this hologram does it for me pretty well. We're getting there. At this point, I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try something and see if this works. I'd like to take the wave. I want to trim down this repository. But first, let me just trim down the script. And then with this like hologram, I think it looks pretty good with the black kind of plane just right behind it, but might be something better we can do. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get a flow with fucking Blender if I can find a reason to keep doing it, because I love these hotkeys. Just pick out my ship. Nope, it's not gonna. Nope. That's an old ass Mars shuttle. Yeah, I think a slow rotation would be perfect. Stopped one file change. All right. Just switching down a model. I mean, this is a service that I'm using, so I don't think I'm on a subscription right now, though. Please. Yeah, let's trim this up. Get some ads on top of your ads. Stopped. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to like have it remove comments and shit while I'm still in the same conversation and then start a new conversation. I'm at a point where I want to kind of like save progress. It's usable as soon as I fix the like text scatter. Oh no. this out loud. That's my instinct. Make sure that that still behaves as expected. Yep. Okay, everything is upside down. That's wonderful. I'm not gonna worry about yeah, I guess let me change that first. I want to like get it flipped, get it centered. That's, you know, have the ships spawning in how they are. That's fine. But then I'm going to individually tweak all the little text boxes and keep note of the tweaks I make and just feed it back in. And it will arrange everything into position how I want it. scaled down the wave titles to 0.1. And we need to change their position relative to the wave container. Right side up. Down, you would see the ships before the wave clears. There you go. You'll understand that. This is such an easy fix too. Wave spacing. Okay. I'm gonna start taking note of some of these things. I think I should. I agree. I would love that. I have a keyframe frequency issue on YouTube. I've been told the quality's better on Twitch. And it's always when I'm listening to music over the internet. Because of I guess like a bitrate limitation. God damn it. I'm gonna ditch the music for a minute. Alongside the containers rather than above them. Handle special orientation. Adjust the position of the camera. I didn't ask for any of this. Create a custom text object for wave labels that are positioned to the right side of each wave container. Ugh. Use a special rotation in 90 degrees axis so text faces out horizontally from containers. Whatever. I think it understands what I'm trying to do, like end game, and it's trying to achieve that. It's like jumping ahead. Let's see how it did. div names are so long. I just, I'll do this manually. Sort of. Damn it. Okay. This is how it starts, right? Yeah. So rotate X -90. Oh no, no. Rotate X 90. Fuck. What was it? Okay, yeah. Rotate X plus 90. Z minus 90. Z minus 90. I'm gonna see if it handles that change. Okay, for the title offset, changes to 1 to get these changes across the title.
-3x, -22z, rotate x plus 90, global, rotate z minus 90, global. If I can do that offset tweak, I'll be happy with that, because then I just want to like come in and individually tweak the way the text on the ships themselves scatter around the ships. I definitely don't think that that fucking did it. You know what? Let's get rid of wave labels altogether. Doesn't matter. Alright, so in the info, damn, these are gonna be rotate y, x, 90. Let's get rid of wave labels all together. They are not good. Let's focus on the ship info text and how it is displayed.
Oh, please don't edit the React app. Okay. Because it did. I think I'm getting better at describing to it, but I want the text kind of like arranged around the ship. Okay, we don't have the annoying wave text anymore. Our Archon's not going to have any text because it's just loaded the model in. Did not add an animation, which is good. The fuck is this? A light. Oh, the circle is there. Hello. Now I want to Google like draw to origin. Like what is the relationship of this text element right here is that it's the child element of the object and that the object serves as its like origin point. Target point. Yeah, I've seen some. I've followed a tutorial with geometry nodes before, and you can do some powerful things. looking closer, I do like how it's got it all on one side like that. That's fucking cool. I think if I send it like this with the compass and then mention to it, I like how you have it only showing on the right side of the ship. Text is still facing the wrong direction. Also, let's increase distance from origin some more. Oh, crap. Image. To origin. I mean, that's kind of cool, but not what I want. Blender 3D annotation. Text to origin. Blender 3D floating annotation effect, maybe? Hell yeah, now we're cooking. ChatGPT handled that, or Claude. Sounds like cool UI, HUD style effect, blah blah blah. There might not be an exact tutorial covering all of that in one go. Floating annotation windows. You can use plain objects with an emission shader to create the floating UI elements. Yep. They look like holograms, use transparent material. Okay, that's a good idea. Lines connecting to the ship. Use a Bezier curve with a bevel modifier. Create smooth, glowing lines. Parenting the curve endpoint to the ship and annotation windows can help them move dynamically. Curve strong effect. Using geometry nodes, you can animate the start and end values of the curve, create a progressive drawing effect. Yeah, I kind of like that. Hologram shape for the ship. Yeah, I already have that. Blender HUD UI elements. Video is not available. Boo. Boo. Use web search for the most modern, no, not most modern, for most recent, easily implementable technique, or any free texture packs. Resources. Do this already. Crash. That's a little more sci-fi HUD. Yeah, some glowing text, sci-fi HUD element. That's what I need. None of those really achieve what I need. Yeah, this one I already saw. This one looks good. $18. Where's that other place? Gumroad. I probably make their AI use so much processing power, like analyzing images of shit. Sci-fi HUD. Okay, this one actually looks like it might be exactly what I need. The little nodes is what I wanted. It's probably not too hard to like figure out how to like do, but it's like a hard one to search for because it's just like sci-fi HUD only gets 3 things, but when I was typing in what I wanted, I was getting nothing. Oh, so this is this whole thing. That's a little less usable. I mean, it makes sense if you're putting it on some like display in a video game or something. We're probably gonna get like a space. Ooh. Yeah, you got some good stuff in here. Procedural holographic generator. Okay. What do we got going on in here? Contains 3 basic effects for free. Oh, fuck yeah, we're gonna try this out. Okay, I don't get it. How do I add this to this thing? Looks like I like HS2. Use material data block, this one. Okay.
supposed to import this or something? I might have to create the object like inside of one of these things. Look how to use it. I just liked that one. Ugh.
From everyday moments to life's milestones, we're here for what matters most. That's
Hologram FX is the out once you access libraries to Blender. Open up Blender and go to Edit Preferences. And in the Preferences window, locate this File Paths tab. Here you will see the option to add custom assets libraries to Blender. Click on this plus icon to add a new library path. From this window, locate our extracted hologram effects folder. See the option to add custom assets libraries to Blender. Click on this plus icon to add a new library path. From this window, locate our extracted hologram effects folder and add it as a new library path. Here it will automatically take the folder name as the library name. You can rename it if you want. Keep the rest of the settings as it is and make sure you have saved the preferences. If you have enabled the autosave, then no need to worry about it. Close the preferences window. Now to access our newly created assets library, I make a new window here and change it to Assets Browser. On the top left corner, click on this drop down menu to select our library. Here it is. And just like that, we have installed the hologram effects. Hologram effects has two main categories, effects elements and UI elements. First, let's take a look at effects collection. Effects collection mainly focuses on converting your 3D animated characters into hologram. Here I have this textured Newton character from Mixamo with a walking animation. This contains an armature and a mesh. I hide that Newton collection for now. Let's drag our first effects into the scene. It imported a new object to the scene, but you will see nothing in the 3D viewport. Don't worry, just go to the modifiers tab. Here we have the jumping out modifier which is going to make the holographic effect. First, you have to select the object that you want to turn into.
I get it.
Your hologram. Here I also put a tooltip explaining what each input does. So I select the Newton mesh from here. And immediately we have our Newton character as a hologram. Currently I am in Imperial view. Here is the EV render view and this works in cycles as well. You can change the location of the FX template to change the position of the beam source, and it creates the hologram character where the original model is. If you change the original model location, the hologram will update accordingly. I'll undo those changes for now. Now let's take a look at some of the common parameters you will see in all the templates. Fill slider creates this revealing effect from bottom to top with dynamically updating beams. You can animate this value to create a revealing effect. Beam density controls the amount of beam you have for the effect. And beam radius controls their radius. In the material section, first you will see the material this effect uses to make the effect. To identify easily, material, geonode setup, and the assets all share the same name. Here you can change the glowing color. Glow strength controls the glowing strength as you expected.
You might know Harbor Freight for affordability. What you might not know, performance
and the blend value is a bit difficult to explain, but here you can see what it does to the effect. This one controls the transparency of the beam. And to show the flickering speed, I have to play the animation. You can see the glowing strength is going up and down. When I increase the speed, it happens faster. So, if you want a flickering effect, play with this flickering speed value to find the exact rate. If you don't like it, just set it to 0. By the way, I highly recommend switching to AGX View Transform option. It is better than Filmic and especially looks perfect for glowing objects. Also, to get a slightly different look, in material settings, you can play with this show back faces option.
Okay, that's actually like really easy to use and looks really dope. Alright, what's the deal here? It's still not rotated. I'm gonna have to do some work. Let's see.
this motherfucker. It doesn't matter. That's a tweak for another day. Or for later. Even if I had to like manually rotate that and position it in the place, it wouldn't bother me. What I want is the information to be there. So I'm happy with where that's at now. The real thing is the GUI tool reading everything from the database. So. The user appears to be satisfied with the changes we made to the Wave Animator script. Yeah, I'm not. The search itself is quote-unquote bad. Since we're now looking at a completely different component, the React app, I should acknowledge the completion of the Blender Wave animation improvements. Ask for more information about the React app. Let me help you. What are these logos for React? Server. I'll give you the database and index file, get started.
Oh, it's going hard right now. Analyzing my mess.
I'm gonna turn YouTube off because no one's watching on there, and I am currently lagging like